Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Grow Through English. Today, I want to talk about something that every single person listening to this podcast has experienced at some point in life. Struggle, disappointment, failure, moments when you felt like giving up. Maybe you're going through one of those moments right now. Maybe you've been working hard toward a goal and things aren't going as planned. Maybe you've been rejected. Maybe you failed an exam, lost a job opportunity, ended a relationship, started a business that didn't work, or simply felt stuck while everyone else seems to be moving forward. If that's you, then this episode is for you. Because today, we're talking about the importance of never giving up. Not because life is easy. Not because success is guaranteed. But because giving up guarantees that you'll never know what could have happened if you had kept going. Think about that for a moment. Every great achievement in history exists because someone refused to quit. Someone kept going despite the obstacles. Someone chose one more step forward when it would have been easier to stop. The truth is that most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a few years and overestimate what they can accomplish in a few weeks. We live in a world that celebrates quick success. We see highlights on social media. We see people posting achievements. We see successful businesses, athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs. What we don't see are the years of effort behind those achievements. We don't see the failures. We don't see the rejection. We don't see the nights filled with doubt. We don't see the moments when they questioned themselves. And we definitely don't see the times when they wanted to quit. Success has a way of hiding the struggle that came before it. That's why it's important to remember that every successful person you admire has faced difficulties. Every single one. Nobody reaches greatness without setbacks. Nobody builds something meaningful without challenges. Nobody grows without discomfort. The path to success is not a straight line. It's messy. It's unpredictable. Sometimes you'll move forward. Sometimes you'll fall backward. Sometimes you'll feel like you're making no progress at all. But every step teaches you something. Every mistake teaches you something. Every failure teaches you something. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they misunderstand failure. They see failure as proof that they're not good enough. They see failure as evidence that they should stop. But failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Imagine learning how to ride a bicycle. You fall. You wobble. You lose balance. You make mistakes. Nobody expects a child to get on a bicycle for the first time and ride perfectly. Yet somehow, when we become adults, we expect perfection from ourselves immediately. We start something new. We struggle. And then we assume we're not talented enough. The reality is much simpler. You're learning. And learning is supposed to be difficult. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. Progress is supposed to take time. Think about how many people quit just before their breakthrough. How many dreams have been abandoned because someone became discouraged too soon. How many opportunities were missed because someone gave up one step before success. The sad truth is that many people never fail because they lack ability. They fail because they stop trying. Persistence is a powerful advantage. Talent matters. Education matters. Resources matter. But persistence often matters more. Because persistence allows you to keep improving. Persistence allows you to learn from mistakes. Persistence allows you to outlast challenges. And over time, persistence compounds. A small effort repeated every day becomes something extraordinary. One workout doesn't transform your body. One book doesn't change your life. One day of practice doesn't create mastery. But hundreds of workouts do. Hundreds of pages do. Hundreds of hours of practice do. Small actions, repeated consistently, create remarkable results. This is where many people struggle. They want immediate rewards. They want instant results. They want proof that their effort is working. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you work hard for months before seeing any visible progress. Sometimes you invest years before the rewards arrive. Sometimes the results are happening beneath the surface, long before anyone can see them. Think about a seed planted in the ground. For a while, nothing appears to happen. The soil looks exactly the same. But underneath the surface, roots are growing. Preparation is taking place. The foundation is being built. And then one day, growth becomes visible. Many people quit during the invisible stage. They quit because they think nothing is happening. But often the most important growth occurs before anyone can see it. This applies to your goals. This applies to your career. This applies to your education. This applies to your personal development. You may not see immediate results, but that doesn't mean your effort is wasted. Every day you're becoming stronger. Every day you're learning. Every day you're building experience. Another challenge people face is self-doubt. Self-doubt is something we all experience. Even highly successful people experience it. The difference is that successful people don't allow self-doubt to control their actions. They feel fear. They feel uncertainty. But they continue anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action despite fear. Many people wait until they feel confident before they act. But confidence doesn't usually come first. Action comes first. Then confidence follows. You gain confidence by doing difficult things. You gain confidence by facing challenges. You gain confidence by surviving obstacles. Every challenge you overcome becomes evidence that you're stronger than you thought. And over time, that evidence changes how you see yourself. Let's go a little deeper. I want to ask you a question. What would your life look like if you never gave up on the things that truly mattered to you? Take a moment and think about that. Not the small goals. Not the temporary desires. I'm talking about the dreams that genuinely matter to you. The dream you've been carrying for years. The goal that keeps returning to your mind. The vision that excites you and scares you at the same time. Now think about how often fear gets in the way. Fear has stopped more dreams than failure ever has. People often believe they quit because they failed. But many times they quit because they became afraid of failing. They became afraid of embarrassment. Afraid of criticism. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of looking foolish. The interesting thing about fear is that it grows when we avoid it. The more we run from it, the bigger it becomes. But when we face it, something surprising happens. It starts to shrink. Think about every challenge you've overcome in your life. Before you faced it, it probably looked huge. It probably looked overwhelming. It probably seemed impossible. But once you took action, you discovered that you were capable of handling more than you expected. That's one of life's greatest lessons. You are usually stronger than your fears want you to believe. You are usually more capable than your doubts suggest. You are usually much closer to success than you realize. Many people quit because they focus too much on the finish line. They look at how far they still have to go. They focus on everything they haven't accomplished yet. And because the goal feels so far away, they become discouraged. Instead, try focusing on the progress you've already made. Look at how much you've learned. Look at how much you've grown. Look at the obstacles you've already overcome. Progress creates confidence. And confidence creates momentum. Another thing I've learned is that every meaningful journey includes periods where nothing exciting seems to happen. There are seasons of growth. And there are seasons of waiting. The waiting seasons can be frustrating. You work hard. You stay consistent. You make sacrifices. And yet the results don't appear immediately. During those moments, it's easy to wonder whether your effort is worth it. But often the waiting season is preparing you for the next level. Patience isn't just waiting. Patience is continuing to work while you wait. Anyone can stay positive when things are going well. Anyone can feel motivated when success comes easily. The real test is whether you continue when progress feels slow. That's where character is built. That's where future success is earned. I also want to talk about something many people rarely discuss: loneliness. Sometimes pursuing a goal can feel lonely. Sometimes the people around you don't understand your vision. Sometimes your friends doubt you. Sometimes family members question your decisions. Sometimes nobody believes in your dream except you. If you've ever experienced that, you're not alone. Many successful people walked through periods where very few people believed in them. The difficult part is continuing anyway, believing anyway, working anyway. You cannot allow other people's limitations to become your limitations. You cannot allow someone else's fear to become your fear. Their opinion is not your future. Their doubt is not your destiny. The only person who must continue believing is you. Because your dream belongs to you, not them. There will also be moments when you fail. That's part of life. And when those moments happen, remember this: failure is an event. It is not a person. You failed at something. That doesn't mean you are a failure. There's a huge difference. The mistake many people make is turning temporary setbacks into permanent identities. They say things like, "I failed, therefore I'm not good enough. I failed, therefore I should stop. I failed, therefore success isn't for me." None of those conclusions are true. Failure simply means there is something to learn. And every lesson learned makes you stronger. Imagine if every setback became a teacher instead of an enemy. How much faster would you grow? How much stronger would you become? How much further could you go? One of the greatest advantages you can develop is the ability to keep moving forward after disappointment. Because disappointment is unavoidable. But quitting is optional. And that's an important distinction. Life will disappoint you from time to time. People will disappoint you. Plans will disappoint you. Circumstances will disappoint you. But those disappointments don't get the final say. You do. You decide whether the story continues. You decide whether another chapter gets written. You decide whether today's setback becomes tomorrow's comeback. I want you to imagine yourself 10 years from now. Picture the future version of yourself. Picture the person you could become if you stayed consistent. If you continued learning. If you continued improving. If you continued showing up every day. What would that person look like? How would they think? How would they carry themselves? What kind of life would they be living? Now ask yourself another question. What would that future version of you tell you right now? Would they tell you to quit? Would they tell you to stop trying? Would they tell you to abandon your dreams? Of course not. They would probably tell you to keep going. They would probably tell you that the struggle is temporary. They would probably tell you that the obstacles are making you stronger. And they would definitely tell you that your future is worth fighting for. Every great achievement begins with a decision. A decision to continue. A decision to persist. A decision to take one more step. And then another. And another. Until eventually, those small steps create a remarkable journey. You don't need to be extraordinary today. You just need to keep moving. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to remain committed. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave enough to take the next step despite fear. Remember this: success is rarely one giant moment. More often, it's thousands of small decisions made consistently over time. It's choosing not to quit. It's choosing to learn. It's choosing to try again. It's choosing to believe that your efforts matter. Because they do. Every day you continue is a victory. Every obstacle you overcome is evidence of growth. Every challenge you survive proves that you're stronger than you were before. And one day, all those small victories will become a story. A story you'll tell with pride. A story that inspires other people. A story that reminds you how far you've come. And when that day arrives, you'll be grateful that you didn't quit when things became difficult. You'll be grateful that you kept going. You'll be grateful that you believed in the possibility of a better future. Because sometimes the most important victory isn't reaching the destination. Sometimes the most important victory is becoming the kind of person who refused to give up. Let's talk about motivation. A lot of people believe they need motivation to succeed. The problem is that motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you'll feel excited. Some mornings you'll feel exhausted. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Some days you'll want to stay in bed and do nothing. That's normal. Human beings aren't designed to feel motivated all the time. The people who achieve extraordinary things understand this. They don't rely entirely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline means showing up on difficult days. Discipline means keeping promises to yourself. And that's where true progress is made. Not on the days when you're inspired, but on the days when you're tired and continue anyway. Those days build character. Those days build resilience. Those days separate dreamers from achievers. Life will test you. That's unavoidable. There will be disappointments. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when things feel unfair. There will be moments when you question whether your effort is worth it. When those moments arrive, remember this. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know exactly how the story ends. You only need to focus on the next step. One step. One day. One decision. That's all. The future becomes overwhelming when we try to carry the entire journey at once. But anyone can take one more step. Anyone can try again tomorrow. Anyone can keep moving forward today. One of the most inspiring truths about human beings is our ability to recover. People survive incredible hardships. People overcome extraordinary obstacles. People rebuild after devastating failures. History is filled with stories of individuals who refused to quit despite impossible circumstances. And while your journey may be different, the principle remains the same. You are often stronger than you realize. The problem is that you don't discover your strength until life demands it from you. Challenges reveal strengths you didn't know existed. Obstacles reveal abilities you never had to use before. Difficult moments often become turning points. The experience that feels painful today may become the lesson that transforms your future. Think about your own life. Look back at difficulties you've already overcome. At the time, those moments may have felt impossible. Yet you're still here. You survived. You adapted. You learned. You grew. And because of those experiences, you're stronger today. The next challenge is no different. You may not know exactly how you'll get through it, but you've gotten through difficult things before, and you can do it again. Never underestimate the power of persistence. Never underestimate the value of another attempt. Never underestimate what can happen when you refuse to quit. Sometimes success is not about being the smartest person. Sometimes it's not about being the most talented person. Sometimes success belongs to the person who simply stayed in the game longer. The person who kept learning. The person who kept improving. The person who refused to stop. If you're listening today and you're feeling discouraged, I want you to hear this clearly. Your current situation is not your final destination. A bad chapter is not the end of the story. A setback is not a life sentence. A failure is not your identity. You are not defined by your worst day. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by the opinions of people who doubt you. You are defined by your willingness to continue. So keep going. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep showing up. Keep believing that improvement is possible. Keep believing that tomorrow can be better than today. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself even when the results haven't arrived yet. Because success often arrives quietly, after months of effort, after years of preparation, after countless moments when quitting seemed easier. One day, you'll look back and realize that the reason you succeeded wasn't because everything went perfectly. It wasn't because you never failed. It wasn't because you never doubted yourself. It was because you refused to give up. And that decision changed everything. Thank you so much for listening today. If this message resonated with you, remember to share it with someone who might need encouragement right now. And remember this: no matter how difficult the journey becomes, no matter how many setbacks you face, no matter how many times life challenges you, keep going. Your story isn't finished yet. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.